first read this comment, I assumed that you were referring to the scene in Breaking Dawn, the book, where Bella is attempting to read to Raspberry, and she reads her Tennyson because she thinks that's going to be like up to speed with her. And Rendering File just like takes the book and starts reading it to Bella instead, like perfectly, and Bella thinks it's like really weird. But either way, they tried to make that less creepy in the movie, but in both cases it really does demonstrate how off and weird Bella and Edward are as parents and how they don't act like parents. But while obviously RoboCop is creepy in the films because of the CGI mess, I think the films actually kind of toned it down in the sense that while getting the joke of parents that Bella and Edward are, we didn't get the extent of it. And we also didn't get as many of these moments where we see that everybody is logically horrified by Receptacle and how fast she grows and just the way that she is, but then they're also like enchanted by her right away after. Like this scene where Bella's like, I'd been reading Tennyson to her because we had to constantly search for new material because she didn't like repetition and she had no patience for picture books. And the receptionist literally puts her hand on Bella's cheek and is just like, no, I want to read it, because remember, she doesn't like to talk, she prefers to use her gift, and then she just starts reciting the whole thing perfectly, and Bella's like, my hand was robotic as I took the book back. If you read, how will you fall asleep? I asked in a voice that had barely escaped shaking. Remember, Recliner is not even 3 months old by the end of Breaking Dawn, and like this is the kind of stuff she's doing, and in the book she does look more like a 5-year-old rather than like a 10-year-old by the end, but it's still absurd. I never forget the moment where Rhetorical Question stands up and just starts walking, and everybody, including Jacob, is horrified, and Bella knows this, but Jacob bursts into applause anyway because that is the reaction that Reddi-wip wants. And Bella says his own reactions were secondary. His first reflex was always to give Receipt whatever she needed, but our eyes met and I saw the panic in mine echoed in his. Like, truly just free him. That is just so horrifying. But all this to say, there is this element of like the little demon child growing so fast that it is like a different experience. That being said, Bella and Edward as parents are really wild to watch, because even with this, they're still constantly shoving her off on her honorary parents, Rosalie and Jacob. And even in the final battle, like they make it about themselves in the book, especially.